Welcome to another episode of Vineyard Roads. Today we are headed to Christopher Jacobs Winery at Pennings Vineyard in the town of Crawford. And
Is it town of Crawford?
It is town of Crawford.
In Pine Bush, too. Like it still has the address of Pine Bush, New York.
Correct.
And that's in Orange County, New York.
Right. 3 miles from the Ulster County line. Very quick trip if ever you want to go to Ulster from Jacob Marley's Vineyard.
So there, Jacob Marley.
From Christopher Jacobs Vineyard.
So they're in Shawangunk, but not part of the Shawangunk Wine Trail.
Right.
And
it's a fairly new vineyard.
Yeah.
Vines were planted, I think, in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
And the farm and winery and everything were opened in 2015. We're looking forward to this trip. We've never been there before, so it's always exciting to go to a new place.
It's fun to see the different ways that the wineries do their tastings and have their events. I think they've really just become really creative with the space that they have, and I'm excited to see how they do it. They said dress for the outdoors. Everything is mainly outside.
Right.
So I'm guessing that means they don't have a big tasting bar indoors, which is fine with us. And they do have, I just want to add, they have the same thing a lot of the wineries have. They have Friday nights and with music and food. I think they bring in food vendors.
Right.
Maybe they're food trucks. I'm not sure.
Yeah, last night there was a barbecue truck. We were going to go there, but they don't do tastings on Friday nights, unfortunately.
And then on Saturdays and Sundays, they just do regular tastings. I'm not sure if they have music or anything on Saturdays and Sundays. And they also do special events. I saw on their website they have weddings or family events. You can book through them. And you can book an outside tasting outside of their regular hours if you call them.
Hopefully we'll get a tour today, too.
Yeah.
We'll see. Here we go.
We just had our wine tasting. This winery has a wine tasting bar, and that is where they do most of their tastings. So unlike most of the wineries we've been to, we get served the wine tasting at a separate table of our own. I think it's because this is a smaller winery, so they just do a wine tasting at the bar. Though if there's a large party or a special request, she said Monica, the winemaker and owner with her husband, said that they will accommodate, requests the best that they can. But we're the only ones here today so far because we came right at open.
Yeah, very early.
So we did get a nice personalized wine tasting, very traditional, I'd say. Of their, how many wines did we get, Jack? 5 or 6?
5, I believe it was.
Okay, and the wines were good. There was one wine, Appaloosa, I think it's called, is made from apples, but it's not
amazing.
A sweet wine. It's not a sweet. It's very different flavor. I definitely would drink that wine with food. I think she suggested pork or turkey, and I'm right with her on that. I think that's right on point.
Definitely.
And they have wonderful grounds here, tons of picnic tables. You can just imagine the Friday night setup with the music.
And it's Friday night sunset, and the sun sets right over the mountains over behind us.
It's really pretty. And lots of tables, a lot more than you would think for a small winery. So there's lots of space. So I imagine Friday night's really nice and a fun time with the food.
And they bring in the food vendors.
Yeah. So really glad we came out here today.
We did get a special tasting out of a barrel, which we've never done before.
Well, we did in California.
True.
We had barrel tasting.
We haven't had that in years.
It's been a long time.
It's been a lot of years since we did that. But this was a very special tasting because it was wine aged in a bourbon barrel. Wow, what a treat.
Yeah, let's see what it's like. I mean, like I said, this is like a little experiment that we're doing, so we're not really sure how it's going to end up.
Thank you.
And how long have these been in there?
They've been in there now for about 2 months. This wine's been in there for about 2 months now. Wow.
That's going to be good.
I think she's done. I think she's done.
That is...
I mean, at least that barrel. Interesting. Would you think a little kiss of sweetness would go nice with this? Or leave it as is?
We get a say?
You get to say. You get to give me your input.
I think a little sweetness, yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit, not
Little
too much,
kiss.
but it's funny.
How would you do
I feel
that?
like
How
you
would
can
you-
smell bourbon in it,
You
but
can-
not
you can
really.
back
Doesn't,
sweeten the wine.
Yeah.
It's legal in New York, absolutely. Yeah. You'd never do that in
Wow.
Europe, though.
Where did these bourbon barrels come from?
So this is a wonderful gentleman. His name is John. He's the owner of the Orange County Distillery Company. And I told him what I was thinking about doing this year, and he is so sweet. He says, you know what? He goes, I'm going to give you my barrels. He goes, I'm not going to charge you a thing for them. Use them. Try what you want to try. When you're done, just give them back to me. I was like
Wow.
floored by his offer.
Wow.
Because barrels are not cheap.
I like it.
It's so strong for me, but I'm a teetotaler that way. Oh, this is exciting. So you see, you got to be with me.
I
It's a very
know.
exciting
That's
day.
fantastic.
I can't even believe this
I'll
is
be
happening
speaking
right
with
now.
my husband saying, okay, pick a day, it's when
Yeah.
it's ready. This is great, yeah. And I have to admit, I'm happy with it. I am.
Wow.
Yum.
Yes, yum.
And oh, it's so good. I think we're gonna have to come back and purchase a bottle of Gold Rush once it's released.
Yes.
Because it was amazing.
I think after the tasting, Monica has decided that perhaps it's ready to go.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool that we were part of that.
Definitely.
It's also dog friendly. So if you bring your well-behaved dog on a leash, you can come Friday nights, listen to the music, have your dog out with you, out in the lawn somewhere. So that's really nice too.
Yeah.
She has a very friendly dog, Bo. I love
he's
him.
great.
It looks like a really fun, mellow place to just hang out, listen to some music, have some food. I really like it. I'm glad we came out here.
Yeah, definitely. It was a great afternoon so far.
Yeah.
Great wine, awesome day. Well, we just met Chris Pennings, the other owner, along with his wife Monica.
So we just wanted to mention that this is a weekend winery, which I think most of the wineries focus on the weekends, but this one is strictly open on the weekends. So Friday evenings, they do what we talked about before, the music and sunset.
Yep.
And then they do tastings on Saturdays and Sundays.
Right. And I think one day during the week too, if I'm not mistaken,
Oh, okay.
Wednesdays. I'm not sure about that, but when we were talking to Monica, I seem to remember that coming up.
All right, so we'll check that on the website and add that in here.
Yeah.
But it's just the people are so enjoyable, very, very friendly. They live on the property.
Here, we'll show you their house right now. It's back there, across the vineyard. Very awesome location, in my opinion.
Right, mountains
live.
in the background and vines in the front. I mean, you can't go wrong. It's a very private feel. Like I think we were saying, it's you just really feel like you're in the middle of nowhere, even though it wasn't like you didn't have to drive deep into the woods or anything like that. But the property, the way it's situated, it just gives you that feel like there's nothing else around. Just this nice, peaceful winery. And just such nice views. The apples growing one side, grapes growing on the other side.
Apples
I mean, it's pretty cool.
A huge meadow, grapes, tents, and the winery. And there is Janine again. Without a doubt, we definitely recommend Christopher Jacobs Winery. It is awesome. Did we talk about how the winery was named?
I believe so, yes, with their sons, Christopher and Jacob, which I really like that too.
Yeah, that's cool.
Chris informed us that Monica, his wife, is the only female winemaker in the Hudson Valley.
Right.
So we just want to give a shout out to her for that because that's pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
And
she is talented.
Yes.
I have to say.
Yes.
Her wines are delicious, especially the one in the bourbon barrel.
Yeah, they're really good. I really enjoyable. And I think I don't even know which one is my favorite one because I need to see the list with the names on them in front of me to make sure I get the name right. But really enjoyable day. I think you could really just make a nice, pleasant afternoon here.
Absolutely.
Nice place to hang out, and they have music going, and they have just wonderful views and very pleasant people.
Very. So one of the features of this winery is this rock wall. And we just learned from Chris that these rocks were all hand-picked from their own property and hauled here by he and his sons. And they used his father's or grandfather's rock boat, I guess it was called. This rock wall is amazing.
It's beautiful, though. The rock wall is just gorgeous.
It's really a good feature of this place.
And that's nice to know the history, that it all came from this land right here.
Definitely.
They put, I'm sure, a lot of work into that.
That is a ton of rocks to move.
Yeah.
We just finished up our visit to Christopher Jacobs Winery. Great experience that we had.
Right.
We did end up buying a bottle of, what was it again?
Holy Cow. This was a farm.
A dairy
farm prior to it being a winery and vineyard. And I guess that we were told that the cows had come up at one point and
broken into the vineyard.
You know, were eating the grapes and
chewed them down to nothing, apparently.
Caused a lot of problems. So based on that, they created this wine called Holy Cow.
Great story. I'm glad that it worked out in the end, and they ended up with some really good wine out of it.
Yeah, and we like the Holy Cow wine. So.
Exactly. But we had a great experience here. If ever, like we said before, if ever you're in the Pine Bush area, definitely come and visit Christopher Jacobs Winery at Pennings Vineyard. Mm-hmm. Nothing left to say other than cheers.